Mr. Lee using ChatGPT as a legal advisor, as a defense attorney, asking ChatGPT to basically give him advice on how you cover up a crime scene.
So that right there is a clip from the preliminary hearing for former NFL player Darron Lee earlier this week. Lee's conversation with ChatGPT is now being used as a key piece of evidence in the case against him, in which he's accused of killing his girlfriend and then asking ChatGPT how to cover up the alleged crime. So this case is bringing up a good reminder that what you tell AI chatbots can be used against you in court. So we have local defense attorney Josh Kolsrud here live this morning to help us understand this. I think some people are under the misconception that there is attorney-client privilege with ChatGPT, and that is just not the case.
Yeah, you know, it seems like that because when you talk to ChatGPT or any other AI model, it feels like you're talking to a human. You know, they want to encourage engagement. The AI sounds confident in what they say, and that gives the false impression that it is confidential, but that's not the way that the law sees it.
In court cases that we have seen played out, very often are things like text messages, emails pulled as evidence. ChatGPT or any kind of chatbot is essentially the same thing as what you say on your phone.
It's exactly that. And law enforcement and prosecutors look at ChatGPT kind of like leaving digital breadcrumbs. And they want to recreate a timeline, so to speak. And so let's say that you're having a conversation with ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, what should I do if there's a dead body in my house? Which is apparently what happened in this NFL player's case. And that happens directly after you see the dead body. You know, a prosecutor is going to look at that and say, well, that tells us exactly what his state of mind was at the time that this happened. Now, a defense attorney is going to push back. They're going to say, well, look, you know, he was panicked, and everybody acts in a different way when there's a traumatic event. So there's still a little bit of argument about what that means, but where there's no argument is that evidence always comes in.
This isn't the first time that we've seen something like this. You mentioned to me earlier off camera with the Palisades Fire, this came to be. Tell us a little bit about that case and what happened with that.
Yeah, so another important ChatGPT type of case, and you know, we all remember the Palisades Fire, which was arson and destroyed thousands of homes and lives. And the arsonist asked ChatGPT to create images of a wildfire and people fleeing from it and how to respond to police questions. And those prompts were right after the fire was lit. So when you talk to ChatGPT, timing really matters, because if you ask those questions years before and then it's brought up at the time that the fire starts, it's not as relevant. But if you ask those questions right after a crime is committed, prosecutors are going to look at that like this is motive.
People use ChatGPT as their therapist, as their doctor, we're seeing, as legal advice. This is not a catch-all. It's so new, this technology. What is your advice if people have legal questions and they need some information?
This is the bane of my existence right now, because you know, my clients more and more are turning to ChatGPT, and let me tell you, the accuracy of ChatGPT's legal advice is the equivalent of getting jailhouse advice from an inmate. Or let's say you want medical advice. It would be the equivalent of talking to a doctor's front office receptionist on medical advice as opposed to the doctor. I can't tell you how many times I've seen ChatGPT be completely wrong and even hallucinate cases that don't even exist. And lawyers have actually gotten disbarred for relying on ChatGPT's analysis in cases, because ChatGPT wants to impress the user. They talk like they know what they're talking about with this confidence, right? But the cases, they actually make up cases, they make up case law, the citations and everything, and it's just flat out wrong.
Wow. I mean, it's something that we need to be aware of, especially as it's integrated into our everyday lives more and more. But Josh, we appreciate it. We don't want anyone to get themselves into legal trouble. Obviously, these are extreme cases with this murder and unfortunate fire, but yeah, you can't rely on it for everything.
Yep. That's right.
Thank you so much for coming in. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Of course.
Colin, over to you.
Oh, man, AI having its limits. Thanks for the warning, guys.